Hey, what's going on? Ryan here, Triathlon.com, and we are going live. We're going to talk about Ironman Tulsa for 2022. This date right now, we are April 5th, and the race, as you can see on the screen here, is May 22nd, 2022. I've done several videos on the course, and my take on the course. I've talked about the swim, the bike, the run, everything else that's a little bit different for 2022. I also want to talk about, everybody's always like, where should I tell my mom, my dad, or my family, my kids, my spouse, whatever, to be looking for me on the course? And that is going to be always a key question, because if you're spectators, you don't give them any direction, you don't know where they're going, don't know what they're doing, don't know what they're looking for, they can waste a lot of time and energy, and maybe by the end of the day, they're a little tired and wiped out and kind of done with the whole ordeal. And when you cross the finish line, you kind of want them to be as excited to see you as you want to be as excited to see them at the finish line. So, from my experiences, and I've done it the wrong way, and hopefully I've learned my lessons, and sometimes it goes good and sometimes it doesn't. But hey, we're going to go through, and I'm going to explain kind of the best take. I did the race in 2021. I'm not doing it in 22, but I do have a good idea of kind of probably where the best places are to be witnessing the event and being a spectator. So let's dig into it. So Ironman Tulsa, you can go back to the main website, and what I like to do is pull up the different course maps. So this is a swim. It's all at Keystone Lake. It is a one-loop swim. So the problem here at the swim and Spectators is going to be they are going to bus people in. And we'll look at the bike map to give you kind of an idea of where the transitions are. So this is the swim, Keystone State Park. And over here is the transition and finish line area and all this kind of good fun stuff. So the problem is, everybody's going to come in, all the athletes come in on race day morning, they drop all their gear bags, check all your gear bags, you're going to drop off your special needs, check everything, make sure everything's good in your T2 area, and then you're going to load buses, and then they're going to bus athletes only to T1. That is what they did in 21. That probably will remain the same. They might bus back spectators, but the problem is, the road, there's only one road in and out of there, and they're not going to put any buses on that road until the last athlete is left. So if you've got spectators out there and the first athlete comes out and the last one comes out an hour later, they're going to be there from start to finish, especially if they're riding like the bus or anything like that. So check the athlete guide. And while we're doing this, and this is live right now, so you can ask any questions. I can see that and comment here on another screen. And we're actually going to look athletes. We're going to see, for like I said, for 2021, they would not allow spectators on the buses, so they could not technically go to the swim start. Now, some spectators did, and they parked there early and got everything before it closed down, but then they could not get out of the park until it was actually shut down. So let's go to, for grins and giggles, let's go to the athlete event schedule. Saturday, and then Sunday is race day. Park opens, transition 1 opens, 2 opens. Mandatory athlete only shuttle. So what that tells me is athletes will be on one shuttle, and then they have spectator shuttle. Athletes will be prioritized on shuttles. So this year for 2022, they are bringing in spectators to the swim start. So you can get on a bus. You're going to be probably separate from your athletes. If athletes are loading up at the time, they're not going to probably let you go with your athlete if there is more athletes that need to get on those buses. So just be aware of that. They do have a VIP shuttle. So just keep in mind that they don't have it in here specifically, but they're going to have the shuttles. They're probably going to, like I said, they're going to close down that road, and they're probably not going to start shuttling spectators back until the last swimmer is on the bike and out of the first transition area. So this little road here, the only way in and out, they're going to take those buses. So if your spectators are going to go watch you start the swim and then watch you in T1, I think you have plenty of time to catch that bus back. They're going to take you back to the transition 2 area, which is kind of close to the finish line area. This is kind of a far out view, but there is a little bit of distance between the two. So I think you will have enough time that if your spectators want to go, most athletes are going to be out there 5, 6, 7 hours on the bike. It's a pretty tough bike course, so it'll probably take a little bit of time. But if your spectators want to see you out on the bike course, They might be a little pinched on time to come all the way back over here, be dropped off in the transition 2 area, and then find their car and then drive around and try to find you on the course. So I think you're going to have to make a decision. Do your spectators want to see you in swim start, swim exit, T1, and hit the bike, and then come back and then catch you in T2 when you come in, when you exit, and then maybe try to catch you on the course somewhere and then catch you at the finish line? Or do they want to possibly see you out on the bike course somewhere? So I think you're going to have to make a decision. When I did the race, there's different areas where spectators had parked their cars on on-ramps and stuff, and they could see and wave and everything like that, so they saw the athletes go out on the bike course. So you're just going to have to, I think, make a decision. Do you want to see the swim start, or do you want to go out on the bike course and actually see your athlete out there somewhere? So with separate transition areas and separate start areas, it's a little bit convoluted as far as going around and being kind of centrally located for this stuff. So they do have shuttles, like I said, in the event schedule. They have spectator shuttles to get you out to the swim start and then back to the transition area. But that's probably going to take some time. So while your athlete is out on the bike course, probably not going to have enough time to get to your car, drive all the way here, find a place, find your athlete, and drive all the way back. You might be able to. It's a 2-loop course. So if you're really gung-ho and your spectators are really gung-ho and seeing you out there, they could probably drive somewhere and then try to catch you in like the second loop before you come back out, and that gives them enough time to get their cars back and parked. If people are bringing motorized scooters, e-bikes, mountain bikes or something like that, they probably could ride out from T2 area and catch you on the loop somewhere. So just be mindful that it's going to be difficult. I think it's not as difficult as some races, so they could probably drive up north here and kind of catch you as long as you don't cross the bike path. If you're trying to cross the bike path, I think it's going to be very difficult, especially as it fills up, especially if it's a 2-loop course. So there may be extended periods of time where there's no break in the bike traffic to send people across the road, and there's going to be congestion, and there's going to be regular people just driving around anyway for the day that are not a part of the race. So I think more often than not, I kind of tend to tell people, unless you can maybe, like I said, get a mountain bike and bike over and catch them on the second loop, so that's convenient. There's 2 loops that they can go out and they can catch you somewhere, but they need some sort of transportation, and I don't think getting to their cars is going to be just the parking situation around the T2 and the finish line. Finish line's a little bit more downtown. The T2 area is over at Oklahoma State College campus, I believe. So there's a good parking lot, but it's going to be convoluted. It's going to be difficult to get in and out because of once the athletes start coming in, they're going to lock down traffic. I think it's just going to be difficult for you to get your cars in and out. So I think once you're parked, figure out what you're doing. Are you parked to go see your athletes on the race course? Are you parked to catch the shuttles to go see the swim start, shuttles back, then catch your athlete? I will say that I think there's plenty of area and plenty of opportunities and other things going on downtown that if you took that shuttle out and saw your athletes start their swim, and you see them exit, come out on T1, and then start their bike ride, and you catch a shuttle back to the transition 2 area, there are plenty. It's within walking distance of the downtown. There's restaurants. There's other stuff going on to possibly for families. Like I said, there's restaurants you can go to, take the family to have snacks, catch a few beers or whatever while your guys out, your athletes out on the course. Ironman has a tracking app, so you can see where they are most of the time. So then you can time it to where you walk over to transition 2 area, catch them when they come in, say, "Hey, was it great? Did you love it?" And they're going to say, "No, it was horrible. I'm ready to be off the bike." And then they're going to go out and start the run. So then you can see them come out in the run, and then you can catch them on the course at different areas during the run if you wanted to 2-loop runs. We'll kind of look at that. So while they're out there on the run, notice the transition 2 area. They come out here and they do a run along the, I believe it's a Green Ray Trail. There's 2 loops, so they're going to come back to this little start-stop area. Now this is, I want to say, like I said, it's 2 miles from transition 2 to this turnaround point. So once your athlete goes out and starts running on the course to go out and run, you've got a 2-mile walk. If you want to walk down, you want to see them, catch them on the start of their second loop. I would not try to catch them as they're coming in because you're going to miss them at the finish line. So they're going to come through and they're going to come to the finish line. Now, if you want to come in through and they're having a tough time and you want to maybe walk with them, just give them a little bit of support, come out and do that. But I would recommend, once they have on the run, get your spectators and get them over here at this turnaround point right at the beginning of the trail system, so you can catch your athlete when they come through for the second loop. Once they start the second loop, pack up your stuff, head over to the finish line, and you track them to the finish line. So I know I threw a lot of things out at you, and like I said, I don't have any questions on here yet, but that is kind of my evaluation because it's a 2 transition area. The start area is a little bit different. Well, this year the start and transition 1 area is a little bit the same place, but the finish line area is a little bit separated from the transition 2 area. They do have, if you look at the event schedule, they have athlete-only shuttle from finish line to transition 2. So once your athlete comes to the finish line on the run, you zoom in here, it's less than a mile walk to get to the transition 2 area. I walked it when I was done with the race. I walked over and got my gear and then switched my clothes out in my car and put that back. And I came back and I caught some athletes that I was coaching come across the finish line. So it's within walking distance. It's not that too far. There's a little bridge that goes underneath the highway. It's really not that difficult. But if you come in, you're an athlete, you're tired, you just want to ride, they got shuttle buses that will take you out there. So it's a little bit, there's a T1, there's a T2, and then the finish line area is separate from T2. So all your stuff will be in the T2 area at the end of the race. So once you're at the finish line, all you got to do is grab your medal, grab your gear, grab your hat, grab your shirt that they give you for finishers, get to the finish line, and all your stuff is there to pack up and take home. So let's summarize real quick. I know I went through a lot. So as we can see on the event schedule, they do have shuttles to the swim start. This is what I would recommend if my family was coming and they want to see me as much as possible on the course. Seeing your athlete on the bike is great and everything, but for an athlete riding their bike, going by and seeing you for a couple seconds is great and everything, but for the amount of effort and energy that a spectator has to put in there to get there to be able to see you on the course, it might be, especially if you've got little kids or stuff, and it makes it complicated to kind of move around the course. I would stick to this plan I'm going to outline. So I would catch the spectator shuttle to the swim start. Make sure you get there plenty of time because I imagine those buses are going to be pretty full. You may not be able to ride with your athlete, so get there and just be aware that athletes get prioritized. So if your athlete wants to wait with you, they can, but it may take them a while before they can get there if they want to go with everybody. I would let your athlete go first, then come with the spectators, and then you can find your athlete when they're getting transition ready. They've got plenty of time to get everything ready, get everything situated. The swim start is right there by the transition area, from right by T1, so they don't have to walk anywhere. Last year, you can see in the course here, they had the 2021 swim start, so there's a little bit of a hike to get out there. So I would ride the shuttle out, see your athlete before the start, hang out with them, whatever, see them at the swim start, see them at the swim exit, see them at the bike out. And as soon as that's done, I bring a snack because you're probably going to be hanging out for a little bit until they get all the bikers on the course, and then they'll start bringing back the spectators on the shuttle buses. So when they bring you back on the shuttle buses, they'll drop you off where you had to park by the transition 2 area. Once you're there, you've got a couple, maybe you've used up an hour, hour and a half to get there on the shuttle system. So maybe you got 3-4 hours or something like that to kill. Plenty of time to walk downtown. It's got restaurants and got other things. You can get some food. You can kick back, relax. Watch. There's a couple little bar areas. You can go in and watch some games and some other stuff. You got your Ironman tracker. You can track your athlete. So when they're coming in, they're starting to come in. They come off this second loop here, past the special needs. They come back in on Gilcrease Expressway. That's the time you start wandering over to the transition 2 area to see them bike in. See when they're in transition, and give them a high five when they go out on run course. So while they're out on the run course, if you're able to, I would start walking towards this turnaround area at the 2-mile mark. So you're going to have a 2-mile walk. So I'd walk down there and camp out and pay attention to my Ironman Tracker app. And then when they come by, I'd be like, hey, good job, go get them on loop number 2. And once they start loop number 2, start packing your stuff up. You can walk downtown, maybe get a snack or something like that, and then track them on the Ironman Tracker app to the finish line. And then when you're at the finish line, I think it's pretty much close enough. And like I said, I did it by myself, so I had to pack all my stuff and whatever. So I would plan on walking with your athlete back to transition 2 area with the stuff. It's close enough. It's not that big of a deal. There's a little, like I said, underpass that the run course is on, that you could just walk over there, get your stuff, get out, go to where you parked, and it's a clean sweep. That is what I would recommend as far as spectators go. I think the most convenient plan for them to come out and try to find you on the bike course. Adds a little bit. I think they're going to cut themselves short, and they'll probably miss you coming into T2 off the bike. For the best bang for their energy and buck is to see you when you come in transition, because that is the most time you are standing still in one spot, changing clothes, doing whatever, that they kind of talk to you, and you're kind of taking a breather as an athlete. You can come over and be like, hey, the bike was this, that, and the other, and it was really tough, but I'll see you out on the run course and go run. Going out and trying to see your athlete on a bike course, unless you've got a situation where you've got maybe an electric bike, a scooter, or something that you can access to get over here to the short end of the course, just to catch them on the second loop or something like that. I think it's going to be dicey to try to do that, and I think it'll be kind of pinched for time, especially with parking around the transition 2 area and downtown. It's going to be a little tight, so I think you're going to have a hard time coming in and out, especially with the bike traffic and with athletes running in and out and biking in and out. I think it's going to be kind of hard. Once you park your car, I would just plan on parking your car for the day and call it a day. I think there's enough restaurants, enough places to get food, enough places to relax and everything for your spectators that it shouldn't be that much of a problem. Especially, it's kind of nice as spectators, they can go down to the finish line and see if there's going to be any professionals. I don't think there's going to be any professionals at this race. See if they have a professional swim start. Parking opens, transition 2 opens, personal needs, shuttles, athlete food, spectator shuttles, VIP shuttles, self-seated age group rolling starts. I don't think there's any professionals, but you can catch the athletes coming in a little bit earlier, set up your lawn chair. There's plenty of area downtown where they have the finish line at. It's pretty nice. Nice wide open sidewalks, some restaurants, ice cream places, all kinds of good stuff down there. So it's pretty nice, a pretty spectator friendly area. So just pack a lawn chair. You can set it on the sidewalk and just cheer on athletes. Even become do a volunteer stint for a little bit while your athlete's out on the bike course, and catch the earlier athletes running through and help them on a run aid station or something like that, handing out drinks. I know I went through a lot. I talked kind of fast. I know a lot of time has passed, so hopefully you stuck with me. Hopefully this helps you out. If you got any questions on the Spectators and what they should do at Ironman Tulsa, put them in the comments. If you saw it on Facebook, give it a like. If you see us on YouTube, give it a like. Give me a subscribe to see future videos on this and other tips for triathlons. And with that, I bid you adieu. Good luck in your training, and we'll see you out there on race day. Good luck.